Alright, not too long ago I made this video right here, which was about Game Informer going, I don't know, out of business or whatever. They used to be a subsidiary, or whatever that word is, of GameStop, and I think GameStop just didn't want to support them anymore. So they ditched them, which means Game Informer had nowhere to go. So as such, Game Informer's dead, which for me was kind of disheartening because Game Informer is and has been one of my favorite magazines. I mean, I've been subscribed to them since I think 2003, and especially back in those days, man, I read my magazines cover to cover every single month. Even when I finished it and I was waiting for the next episode, I just reread it. And as I got older, I didn't have as much time to read magazines anymore, but it was still a really good magazine. I looked forward to it coming in the mail just to even just thumb through it a little. So hearing that it was going out of business, or whatever you want to say, getting shut down, was disappointing. And, yeah. So, another thing that I like to do that's affiliated with video games is, for fun, I always look up reviews on Metacritic all the time. Just for no reason. I'll just think of a random game and I'm like, oh, I wonder what the critics have to say about this. And so, with the release of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, which came out today for the people who pre-ordered, which today is July 8th. For everyone else, it'll come out on Friday, July 11th. But regardless, with this coming out, I was like, you know what? I want to see what the critics have to say about this game. You know, is it any good? Is it like 1 and 2? Because I think 1 and 2, the thing that was most disappointing for me is there's no real career mode. There is, but it's kind of goofy. It's not the same as how it was on PlayStation 1. And unfortunately, obviously I haven't played this yet. It's still sealed. But I haven't heard anything bad about Tony Hawk 3, but I have heard Tony Hawk 4 is, doesn't have the career mode that it used to have. So a lot of people are extremely frustrated and they're recommending don't buy this. It's, you know, it's a half-hearted attempt. So anyway, I'm doing my thing, looking at this. I'm like, let's see, get into those critic reviews. And then I'm like, all right, first one, 95, that's cool. Ooh, but why though? Give it a 90. All right, Screen Rant gave it a 90. Okay, Vandal gave it a 90. I'm like, so far not bad. 87, 85. 85, still good. 85, I'm like, oh, there was only 13 reviews. We're still in the 80s. And then I'm just going along, and then I'm like, what? Game Informer? And then I'm like, what's happening right now? July 7, 2025? That would have been just yesterday. Like, how is this possible? I thought they went out of business. How would they be able to put up a review if they don't exist anymore? So then I'm like, I need to look into this real quick. So then I just type in a little search, Game Informer, and then there's one that like automatically, you know, is suggested, Game Informer's back. So I'm like, okay. Then I see this is March 21st, 2025, and I'm like, when the heck did they go out? I feel like that's around the time that it was. And then I'm like, hold up, let me see what this is all about. This is directly from GameInformer.com, and there's a whole article. Uploaded by Matt Miller, one of the guys that's been with Game Informer forever. And it says, the whole team has returned, and we can't wait to connect with you again. And I'm like, what? Weird part is this is March. How did I not know about this any sooner than just accidentally discovering them by reading a Tony Hawk review? What's even weirder is, like I said, I look at reviews all the time. I haven't seen them review anything else except for Tony Hawk. Like, what have they been doing this whole time since March? Not doing any new reviews? But anyhow, yeah, so here's where they kind of just tell you a whole bunch of stuff. I was devastated last summer when Game Informer was shuttered by our prior parent company, GameStop, and so was the rest of our team. Not only did we really relish working together, but we also thought we were doing something valuable and contributing to the conversation around the gaming hobby. The thing that caught us all by surprise was the reaction to that shutdown from our readers, viewers, and the broader gaming industry. Yes, it was my favorite magazine. It was very disappointing that it was out of business. I hated the digital version, but I was like, geez, just keep the digital version going then. Don't just straight up shut down. But anyways, it looks like when you read through this that they ended up getting bought by somebody else. I thought they went out and kind of made their own company. I don't see why they had to be bought out by anybody. They should be able to be big enough to make their own company, you know what I mean? They've been in business for 30 years, but it looks like they ended up with a new parent company. Yeah, so it says, how did all this happen? After first touching base with our team and ensuring our interest, The team at Gunzilla Games secured the rights to Game Informer. From the start, the new owners insisted on the idea of Game Informer remaining an independent editorial outlet. They felt just as strongly as our team did that the only path forward was with an editorial group that made 100% of the decisions around what we cover and how we do so, without any influence from them or anyone else. So, now they operate under an entity called Game Informer Inc., and our intent is to continue to focus on highlighting the coolest games, celebrating the history and legacy of the gaming industry, and shining a spotlight on the creators and players who are charting its future. I'm deeply grateful for the trust and enthusiasm from the team at Gonzilla Games. They see the same potential in Game Informer as our team does, and their encouragement to do so ethically and free of outside pressure is laudable. So anyways, long story short, Game Informer's back, which is pretty cool. The only difference is it's not through GameStop. So like when you get a GameStop Power Up Rewards membership, you don't get Game Informer anymore. That's how I've always had Game Informer, because it's always been part of that. But there is still some hope. They do have a subscription option available online. The only problem is, though, it's very steep. $59 a year. Jeez, when Game Informer was part of GameStop, you got the membership for, it used to be $15. That was with the GameStop membership plus the magazine for free. Even after GameStop got more expensive recently and went to $25, you still got the magazine and the subscription. I mean, and their subscription, GameStop's subscription, their membership, whatever you want to say, for $25. $59, that's a lot. And the worst part is, Game Informer used to be 12 issues a year, one a month. Now, as you can see down here, it's only 10 issues a year, and one of those issues is like a end of the year special thing. So it's not even like new content. The way the way it feels to me, that special end of the year one is almost like a year in review. Like they just take a look at everything that they've talked about over the year, and they just kind of do like a compilation and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's not really like a new magazine, like, oh, we're going to talk about these games that are coming out soon and blah, 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 these new reviews and etc. It's more like an overview of the whole entire year, which means really you're only getting 9 new issues a year for $59, which is steep, especially in comparison to what it used to be. So that sucks. I mean, as you can see up top here, it does say it comes with digital and print. I don't care about the digital at all if I were to resubscribe to this, which I do plan on it, even though I don't like the price, but I do like the magazine. But all I want is the print. But, yeah, I mean, I guess one good thing, if you look down lower, it says 5% goes to St. Jude's Hospital to support the children, so there's that. I guess that's why you have to pay so dang much. But, yeah, so it still exists. And this is the print and digital. There's also just straight-up digital, which I think for the most part comes with everything exactly the same, only you don't get a print magazine. It's just digital, so it starts with digital magazine down. And that one's $39 a year. Me, personally, I don't want that. I don't want digital. I don't feel like looking at a screen when I'm trying to look at a magazine. I like magazines for the actual thing in my hand, to smell the pages, to feel the pages, to, all that. But if you're interested, I guess, and you do want to get back into the world of Game Informer, and don't feel like paying $59, maybe $39 is more up your alley. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I made that other video saying goodbye to Game Informer, and randomly, surprisingly, it's back. I had no idea. Just kind of stumbled across it by chance. Just reading reviews like I do, and then boop, there's Game Informer. Like, what? What are you doing here? Anyway, I guess that's all I got, so thanks for checking this out, and until next time, see you later.